It's too confusing.
Nick took me over there one time and every time I put my line in, I thought I had a rock, and so I pushed it in, and there was just this huge trot. And I was like 3 or 4 times, like, this is really boring. He goes, you're never gonna be, it's
Best
never
thing-
gonna be like
The
this.
best thing I did, they were, Nick and Charlie and I took the girls over there and they left them in this one spot. And they went to our favorite spot on the end. And I'm looking at Michelle and them and they don't have a clue. So I sat there and I rigged them up with a rig and showed them how to use that rig and whatever. And they caught, I don't remember if there were 3 or 4 of you, they caught a limit of trout for each one of them. And I went on out to the jetties. I told them I missed the first boat and I got out there with Charlie and Paul and them and we caught our fish and came back and I could just kind of see Nick. Well, I bet wonder how the girls did it. There were about 40 trout in the ice chest.
That's when you could keep a pretty good amount of beautiful fish.
What is it now?
Is it 3?
3.
Between 21 inches and 21 and a half inches almost. Yeah, I mean, it's
20 to 28 slot.
pretty small. And you can have 3.
No, it's not 12. I'm thinking of those red, trout is 15 to 20.
Yeah,
It's
you can take
small.
one.
15 to 20?
Yeah,
You could catch one over 25.
Well, those are all over. 1 over 25.
but
Yeah,
those
no
are the ones
fun.
good eating.
It's no fun.
All right, it's 3 o'clock.
All right.
I'll call this meeting of the Charter Review Commission for the City of Port Aransas to order. First item of business is to conduct a public hearing on a proposed amendment to the Port Aransas City Charter. Article 9, Section 9.02, Boards and Commissions, enumerated item C, Library Board. The proposed amendment would align the supervision and governance of the library with other city departments by placing these responsibilities under direction and supervision of the city manager. Is there any public comment? If not, then we'll adjourn the public hearing and we'll go to item 4. And that is to discuss and take action on the January 6, 2026 regular Charter Review Commission meeting minutes. Those were previously submitted. Are there any additions or corrections?
I move that they accepted.
Second.
Been moved and seconded. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. All opposed, the same sign. Motion carries. Item B, discuss and take action on amending the city charter, Article 9, Section 9.02, boards and commissions, enumerated item C, library board.
All right, so can I jump in real quick?
You bet.
So I've been on the last 4 days going over this with Mike Morris. And kind of here's what we came up with as far as interpretation. He thinks there is not a conflict. He thinks that, and I tend to agree with him now after reading it. So the first sentence that I've always had problems with is the board shall work in an advisory capacity to the city council in the planning, development, use, regulation, operation, and maintenance of the Port Aransas Library. So, and then the second sentence, the board shall supervise and govern the public library. So I always kind of said, well, God, those 2 sentences seem like the exact same thing. But in talking with Mike, the first sentence of the advisory capacity, when you look at each of those words by themselves, the planning, development, use, regulation, it's more pertaining to the building, the maintenance of the building, how the building is used, whereas the second sentence, the board shall supervise and govern. That's in Mike's eyes a totally different animal. And so,
In what way?
well, he says that's where it's like supervising and governing is more getting into the daily business of the actual library and how it functions. Like, for example, they may say, hey, we want the library to have to be more heavy on the ebooks and video rentals. As opposed to, you know, it's more the day-to-day governance of how the library, what's in the library. You know, what are they specializing in? Who are they catering to?
Nothing specific about pay, role,
Yeah,
hiring and
I mean,
firing.
the board has no financial in either one of those sentences. Even though the board, it says regulate, operate, they have no financial.
But they can't hire and they can't fire. They can simply make suggestions to the council. who
Correct.
Has the total control over that.
Yes. So council does ultimately have they have. You may ask, well, what are they, if you said someone's governing, it's almost like what Mike was explaining. He said, Dave, they're kind of like council. Council does not hire, fire, well, except for me, but they don't hire and fire staff. The city council doesn't tell the code enforcement officers what to do. They don't tell they tell me what to do, and I manage the departments. And he said that's what the library board's like. They are not supposed to be in the director's knickers telling her everything that, you know, oh, we don't like that bookshelf. Those books are too high. We don't like using the bottom shelf. That's not their role.
That's micromanaging.
That's micromanaging, and they are like council. They hire the director and give her guidance, but they are not telling her, I want this book. I don't want that book. That's not their job to micromanage.
But and other departments, let's use the police department as an example, you hire the police chief, don't you?
Yes, I do. Now that is different. And we were trying to think back why that came to be. You know, why is it different in the charter for the library? And doing the research on the history, we think because the library was born out of a group of the citizens, not so much council. And you two probably know more than anybody, but the library grew from a public or private group of
That's
citizens
correct.
that came and did all the legwork to get council to finally agree to the library. And I think that's the difference in the library and all these other, you know, the nature reserve, the Parks and Rec, planning and zoning, was that the library had a whole big grassroots effort behind its creation. And I think that's where they got that little extra oomph of stroke.
Do you have any problem
So
with
there
that?
was,
I don't personally, it's probably not worth the knockdown, drag out. I
People
think
coming up and talking.
I think it would turn into, my guess is council doesn't even want to touch it.
I think.
I don't think it's worth
They
it.
didn't want to last time.
No, I don't think it's worth it.
Well, I think it's a matter of educating the library board then, making sure that they understand their role.
Yeah, I agree.
Specifically,
Yeah,
a little bit narrow that down.
What you could do is have a workshop with the library board and let
Yeah.
Mike explain.
yeah. I mean, because ultimately, because if push came to shove, which I don't think it ever will, but you could have a library director go, I don't have to listen to you guys. You guys can't fire me. Only council can fire me. I mean, ultimately, that library board director doesn't technically have to answer to the library board ultimately, because ultimately their fate lies with city council.
And their wages and everything else.
Yeah,
lies with the
exactly.
city.
So there's some protection there. So it's not like the board has full stroke over the director. The director has plenty of. The director's almost protected by me and council more so than, you know, they have to fear.
Does the
library.
Does the board meet once a year to give guidance?
No, they meet
advice?
more often than
I mean,
that.
but do they have a when do they meet with the librarian and go, this is what we'd like to have is more.
Yes, they have
ebooks?
those meetings.
So they have the
Yeah.
meetings and then they suggest things for the
I
librarian.
think they're more quarterly.
Has the library banned books?
Good question.
Haven't heard of them.
I have not heard of them banning books.
That really
Heard of it
pisses
being
me
any
off
books.
when they start.
No, I
That would be
I
at
don't
the
think they
school.
have. The school has been mandated by the state, by the Board of Education, but I don't think anything's come down
Maybe.
through the cities. Now,
We'll
some
let you
cities
know.
have in Texas,
So that would come from the city council.
yes.
Yeah.
Right. Well, so when this private group got together and did it, so then there was a charter amendment election to
Yeah.
get this into the charter?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yeah, because when was, there's a couple different, there was an ordinance change in 99, 02 and 08. So I don't think it was it was original, because I think the creation of the library board came well after the original charter.
The original charter didn't have a library board.
Yeah,
Well, I think Charlie's right. I think getting Mr. Morris involved and just kind of explaining, because the words supervise and govern seem very powerful for a board to have control over an employee that's a city employee. And I think that,
yeah, I'm in
That-
agreement with
Do
you.
they think they have that power?
No, I think for the most part, they do a good
Okay.
job. Yeah. I think
well,
on
then
a,
how did
I
all
think on
this
a-
come up to about? Why?
well, I mean, I've had it highlighted in my book for
20
18 years.
Okay,
As a
okay.
conflict.
So this
and I-
wasn't an
and
issue
I've
based
fought it
on,
before. Yeah, no, it wasn't
Oh,
just an
okay.
issue.
okay,
Things have
Perfect.
not happened.
It was just on my list of, oh, hey, you guys might want to try to fix this, but then I forgot we tried 8 years ago to fix it or something. I just don't think it's worth it. After talking with Mike for 4 days, Mike kept calling me back the next day. I've been thinking about that. I bet, so I think it's better to just, like Charlie said, we get with the board and say, hey, guys, here's how this works.
I know.
You guys supervise and govern at 30,000 feet.
I know when I was on the port commission, we had every port commissioner sit down with Jimmy Wells, and I had him tell us what our responsibility.
Right.
That'd probably be a good idea to do that with Mike.
So we don't have anything to do.
Well, we got one,
Oh.
we gotta fix,
The election.
Yes.
gotta fix, who can call the election.
Oh, okay.
well, I
That's
agree.
not-
I
is
agree
that
with
something that
Dave.
We can do without
Correct.
is
That
that
should
something
be
we
a
can do without an election?
I believe so. I'll double check with Mike, but I believe it's grammatical error, like a issue, so we can
Or
change
it's
it to the like
statutory.
the
Yeah.
statutory.
Change. Things that we may not.
Yeah, well, it's a fun meeting.
Well, I agree with Dave and with Charlie. Education is always the
Yeah.
best way to go.
Always. Wait.
It's good seeing you.
Well, then, I guess what we could do, the next item is to talk about the provision with the grammatical, it said grammatical error, it's a statutory one, really. And we could take action that if it's not one that you can change without an election, then we would recommend to the council that they have an election for that one item, which that would be in conjunction with, if we do it real quick, it'd be in conjunction with the city election
City
anyway, so
elections,
that would be okay.
Yep.
So that would mean probably one more meeting and,
So I'm
Should we-
unclear about that. You're saying there
Well-
will be an election just on, I thought these were grammatical things they could do by
well,
themselves.
that's a statutory, it's not grammatical. it's-
Well, whatever, yeah.
Well, see, can we take action right now? It says take possible action. So can I make a motion that we do the grammatical by the staff, anything that needs to go to the election, to the public, that be done?
Well, I think what you could make a motion that if it's not, and I'm lost for the word that they use in the statute. If it's not something that we can change without an election, then we would recommend to the city council that they call an election for the purpose of fixing that
Yeah.
section
The
5.
language of, yes.
Then you don't have to meet again.
Um. Okay, you're saying this is some state law that was changed,
Yes, sir.
but I thought there was something in our thing that on those things. You could do it without an election.
You can do it without an election, but I'll double check and make sure
Mhm.
that,
I mean, that should be less expensive to
Yeah.
get it all done there.
Is there state mandated?
And then
in?
throwing it out, and it's not a big issue, I don't think.
Right.
correct.
I would think you're right.
Yeah.
You know,
It's
we had a
a mandate.
specific date, 14 and 21 day provisions for notice
Mhm.
and the election code was changed to say on the date specified in the election code set by the Secretary of State. And we have to follow that.
I was gonna say,
Yeah,
doesn't
but-
state supersede city almost any time?
That's correct.
Well, I say we make a motion, get it out there, vote, and then we don't have to meet again. Would that be correct?
Yeah, it says. In 1207 of the charter, the city council shall have the power by ordinance to modify references in this charter. To state or federal laws or other provisions of this charter in order to make references consistent. With subsequently occurring codification and recodifications of such laws.
Yeah.
So that's already in there.
Yeah, that's in here.
Won't need to
So,
do
yeah,
that.
Yeah,
So why don't we make a motion that the council, recommend to the council that they adopt an ordinance to revise section 5.06 to comply with existing state law.
I so moved.
Second,
Anybody have any discussion? If not, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign, motion carried. That ought to do it, David.
Yeah.
Do we need to come talk to the council about that at their meeting or just?
do we get paid per meeting?
No.
Where's my little bouncy thing or my little, did you get your
Where's
little?
my stress
Oh,
ball?
we haven't adjourned. I'm sorry.
Where's our stress balls?
Yeah.
Charlie, have you adjourned us? Have you
Yeah,
adjourned
please,
us?
I will.
You did adjourn us?
Got all your fingerprints on it.
Oh,
I don't like
I'm not,
that.
I'll make a motion that we adjourn.
Second.
Hey,
Right.
Right.
Thanks.
Thank you, Charlie.
You need another one, Jim?
I got one enough. I think that's enough.
I'll take one.
I'll tell Wendy I took